welcome to the Team Empire podcast. We're back. I've been on a bit of a hiatus. I'm your host, Shannon, and we've come back with a bang. I decided to get on one of the veterans and someone that I've been watching for ages, for years. Absolutely adore this bikini athlete, and it's just time to get her on. We all know it was time. So I've got Jamie Blomfield on the pod. Hey, Jamie, how are you, babe?
Shannon, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for joining me. I know you're a busy girl. We're going to talk about what you've been up to and what you're doing now. And like you just said, the whole year is just like going so quick and just busy as, but we'll get into it all. You competed last year. We're going to talk about that too, but how are you doing? How are you doing now? It's like obviously been almost a year since you got on the stage. How are you feeling? You just good at the moment?
I don't know how it's almost been a year, to be honest. Yeah, I've just mostly been focusing on work at the moment and planning. Started what's going to be a long off season and a long prep. So no more quick one hit wonders.
Yeah, I love that, babe. And it's for the long game, hey? And if you're going to get up there, we're coming for the big one. So let's go all the way back, babe. A lot of people know you. A lot of people have seen you compete. Like I said, you're a veteran. You've been on the stage a bunch. We all know who you are. But let's talk about how you got started, because you've been doing this a little while. Talk to us about your very first season. Like, what year was it? How was it? Did you enjoy it? Tell us about that.
The first one was 2019, I think, March, which was when we still had pro-ams.
Yeah.
And of course, I like to make things really hard for myself, so I picked the pro-am for my first ever show. Prior to that, I had just been powerlifting, so I was basically a lean powerlifter on stage. And we finished at about midnight, I think, and obviously up, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning for makeups and tans and all that stuff. So being a pro show and an amateur show was much longer, things I didn't know or anticipate. It was a really, really good experience, actually, aside from the length of it. Yeah, and I won first novice. I think I won my class, I came second in my class.
Nice.
And the overall placing, I did not even look like I belonged next to them.
What? I love it. And was that the pro-am with like Jeanette Leug and stuff like that were there? Like, was there big names that come over for that show?
I couldn't. I'm pretty sure she wasn't there. No. I think I would have remembered that.
Definitely, you'd be like, oh my God, it's Jeanette. I love it.
A lot of pros came over for that one, I think, in bikini.
Yeah. And it depends on what kind of pros they were too. But it was cool. There were big shows back in 2019, hey, before COVID, and then everything sort of changed a little bit. Really huge, like double format. Yeah, I love it. It's cool. And now they're like smaller, shorter days, and it probably feels like a breeze for you now.
They do feel short, but the length of time between you going on now and when you actually go on is still an entire day.
Waiting. Oh yeah, totally. So 2019. So you did how many shows that year?
3. So I did the Pro-Am, and then I did the Tournament of Champions in Palmy, which is to date my favorite show. It's just so well run and it's fun. It's more like a show for the audience and a good time for the athletes. So lots of competitions, prizes. It's just really fun. And then nationals that year as well.
Yeah, nice. So 3 shows in that first pop. And were you like hooked from the start? Were you like, I love this shit? Like, what was it like for you?
Yeah. I life. So that was it. And I just, I could probably stay in the gym all day, every day if I could. I don't know what made me go from powerlifting to bodybuilding. I continued powerlifting programming within my bodybuilding training the whole time.
Yeah.
To a certain extent. And I still love both. But I think once you start doing a little bit well with competing, you go, oh my God, I'm going to be amazing and I'm going to do this and that and have big, huge shiny dreams. So
I love it. You found your way. Do you reckon powerlifting helps with your bodybuilding?
Powerlifting helped me to build a good foundation. I've always, done extreme sports and stuff, so they're always a little bit more on the muscular side. But powerlifting definitely helped me in terms of structure and programming and commitment and getting up in front of people doing something, because that's not something I normally do. And strength and form technique. Yeah, it 100% helped.
Yeah.
And that kind of training, personally, it's really good for putting on a lot of mass quickly. As opposed to going straight into the bodybuilding style training, which is it takes a lot longer and it's not as fun.
Yeah, you want to throw the weight around and make it enjoyable a little bit, so that makes sense. That totally makes sense as to why you've got such a great physique, because you've got a great amount of muscle on you and you always look better every year. Let's talk about your last season, because that was really cool. That was my first year competing, and then you did a little baby tiny prep, and I was like, Jamie's not competing this year because she's not said anything, and I'm always on the watch. But then you announced it and you're like, I'm coming in and I'm doing Waikatos, and I was like, fuck, she's like the best. What made you want to compete last year, and why such a short prep? Were you not sure and then you just decided, or what happened with that?
Yeah, I went through quite a tough time at the start of the year. So I just spent the year basically working on my mental health, working on my lifestyle, and trying to gain back the muscle that I had lost with it, stress and stuff like that. And I quit my corporate job of 10 years and ended up being the manager of the new fitness portal gym, which we opened the day after nationals. So there was just so much going on. So I thought, no, I won't compete. And then I just got FOMO and I wanted to have some fun, and why not? I was like, it's been a hard year. I might as well go and do something that I enjoy. And GlamFit had sent me a bikini. It was so pretty and I wanted to wear it. So we just I quickly did a 6-week prep with Steve Orton. And yeah, it was just nice to get back in there again.
Yeah, it was so good to see you, babe. Like I said, everyone was unsure if you were going to compete. Everyone always keeps an eye out for you, but it was so good to have you there, and you looked amazing. Did you enjoy the season? Was it fun? Was it enjoyable for you after such a hard start of the year?
Yeah, honestly, every part of it was really, really fun. It was hard. There were with starting the gym at the same time, the open day and nationals on the same weekend. There were times where I was moving. I'm not sure if I was moving or not. I was going so slow. But never was it a burden, and never did it not make me happy. So yeah, it was very, very fun, and I'm really glad that I did them.
Oh, cool, babe. That's so awesome. And you said you were coached by Steve Orton for that one, but you've been with Yusuf now since pretty much you finished up last year. How's all that going now? And what are you guys doing? What are you working on at the moment with your coach?
Yeah, so Yusuf is one of the coaches at Fitness Portal, and under Online Fitness, that's his coaching business. And I started working with him because I wanted to step up. I think it's important when you're looking at picking your coach, what are the reasons that I'm going to move, and make sure you're moving to something that's a progression from what you had, whether it's not necessarily better or worse, but different. Or in some cases better. So yeah, Yusuf's the only medically registered coach in New Zealand, I believe. So he not only has the experience in competing, he's also a classic physique pro. Then he's actually got the knowledge to back everything up. And I would never question anything. Just like, yep, I know what I'm doing. It's written there. Go do it. His training is amazing too. Like, he can just find any little thing to pick up on to do it slightly differently. Anything I'm struggling with, any sort of niggles, aches, anything like that. And although I thought I had pretty amazing mind to muscle connection, turns out it could have been a lot better, and it now is.
Love that, babe. That's so cool. So do you train with him in person too, because he's at your gym?
Yeah, so we PT once or twice a week, and then sometimes if the timing works out, I'll jump in for training as well. And yeah, he does all my nutrition check-ins, and my training program as well, which is new for me because I've never really followed anybody else's training programming other than my own. So it's really is just a step up in every way, which is what you want when you're picking a coach, right?
Definitely, 100%. How are you finding it, like, obviously making, like, the results on your physique? Are you noticing changes? And now that you're doing a different type of training, is it, like, different and quicker or anything like that?
Yeah, I have noticed that it does seem to progress a lot quicker in terms of I don't necessarily want to need to put on too much mass. Yes, I do need to grow, but he's really detailed in where exactly we need to put on more shape, where we need to refine, and things like that. And you notice the difference pretty quickly. And my waist tightened up within like a couple of weeks, while still roughly same weight. So that was nice.
That's nice. Your waist is already tiny anyway. What do you mean tightened up? Where did it go? Like, fuck, it's disappeared now. Shit.
Well, it's only tiny the day of the peak week is tiny. The rest of the time, not usually not so much. But now, yeah, I was like, oh wow, this is nice.
I like that. It's always feeling good. I love that. What do you reckon's changed since 2019 in bikini? Like, obviously the division's changing a lot as it goes, and like it's probably growing, if anything. Like the girls are just getting bigger. But are you finding it's better than it was? Is it always improving to you? Do you think it's kind of hard to keep up? What do you think about the growing division of bikini?
So I think on a international scale is a completely different question to in New Zealand. I don't know whether it's because of so obviously have a lot more coaches in other places, and a lot more competitors probably as well. But yeah, New Zealand has always to me looked like we've just been like a little bit behind. We're not quite getting there. It's maybe our Kiwi mentality that we have, like, oh yeah, this is pretty good. Or not doing things properly in terms of this. Why I said I'm doing at least a year and a half prep now.
Nice.
And I noticed that most of us don't do that strictly. We'll do a 20-week or a 16-week prep, and then we'll off season. But there are a few that will 100% stick to it, and then a lot don't. And I never did either. I just went, cool, 8-week prep, done, back to normal life, eating heaps, training heaps, training heavy, training hard. It'll be fine. And you don't realize that it affects the conditioning on stage when the judges are looking. If I do an 8-week prep, my skin doesn't have time to kind of adjust and tighten up as well as it should, especially when I drop about up to 10 kilos in a prep. So I think that's one thing that's actually been a downfall for me the entire time, and I've only just started to realize it now. So things I wish I knew: do a long prep. Just things like that. But in the last year, I have noticed the bikini athletes in New Zealand have gone a whole new level. There's more of them. Normally there was like one or two that stand out. Now it's the lineup stands out. And yeah, it's been really, really cool to watch everybody transform and watch the bikini division get so much bigger here.
Yeah, it's good, It's so fun to watch. And there's just like people coming out of the woodwork and like young ones. I'm like, oh my God, these girls. Like, what are you on? What is happening? I just wanted to like watch every show and just absorb the whole thing because it's getting better and better all the time. Hey, like it's fun to watch. Talk about your posing for a second. So are you still posing with Katia, and how often do you practice? Because your posing is beautiful.
Well, thank you. Katia has been my posing coach since the day I decided I might want to do a bodybuilding competition. And yeah, I mean, the experience that she has, she's a 3-time Olympian. She's the most experienced competitor that we have here in New Zealand, but not only that, she was also a gymnast for a number of years. She is a very, very good teacher, and an eye for detail. So just because you're good at posing doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be good at showing somebody else how to move their body. And so when I would go for my posing classes or my online ones, it wasn't just posing that I got. I was just like, right, tune in, listen, pick up every single detail, or, all the bikini tips, all the competing tips, everything you need to know. She was just a wealth of knowledge for me. So just always grateful to her for that. And I think the other thing with posing is you have to actually do your research as well. Find somebody with a similar kind of structure as you. Where are their toes pointing? Is the weight in the heel or the toe? Is the knee pointing the same direction? Which hip are we leaning on? So much. So much. Like, yeah, you just get enough of it. I've just folded up just thousands and thousands of posing videos saved on my phone throughout the years, and I would just go like note down like, okay, exactly what angle is a toe pointing.
Wow, I love it. That's so cool. And you study it all the time. Like you watch all the shows as well. You kind of absorb the sport, don't you? You're quite into it.
Yeah. I live and breathe that. I love it.
Love that, babe. So you're one of my girls that you're gonna go pro, 100%, especially if you continue. And Rochelle was my other girl on the list, so she's already taken one. And Lou Mullen, I've always been like, Lou Mullen looks always really fucking good. I know that she's just kind of taking a break at the moment, but you're there, babe. You're right on the cusp, like right on that edge. Is that the goal for you? Is like, what is the ultimate goal? Going to Olympia? Like, what do you want to do with bodybuilding, like long term?
Yeah, ultimately I would love that. I am a little bit aware that I'm 34 now, which it shouldn't stop anyone. Obviously, like there's plenty of bikini athletes still turning pro, still going to Olympia, still taking out shows. And most of them, the ones at the top of the game, are kind of around my age actually, but I'm not at the top of the game yet, So, yeah, I have wanted to be a professional athlete since I can remember. And I didn't care what sport, and I did them all. I did pretty well in them all. And this one, at least, is one that I can just continue doing no matter what goes on in life or where I am or what I'm doing. I know that I can always, control what I'm eating, and I can always go and find a gym somewhere or, training at home. The lockdown taught us that nothing can.
Exactly. Yeah. 100%. And that's so cool, babe, because I reckon it's only a matter of time. And I know you'll just keep going until it happens. Especially with the longer off season, like everyone should be scared. Like if you're taking a year off, like we should all be very worried about 2025.
Yeah, well, I haven't been a long one yet, so don't hold your breath.
I'm hyping you up so much, I better just calm down, just let you go under under the radar and just turn up. Are you going to watch any of the shows this year? Any of the New Zealand shows? You're going to like go buy a ticket and go ahead and watch them?
Yeah, I think Fitness Portal will be sponsoring some at the very least nationals. I'm pretty sure, as we did last year. So I'll definitely be at nationals. I will be at the Auckland champs. I'll be at Mo's Muscles to watch that. And I may or may not do trips for South Island and Wellington's to go as well. I think it's part of competing is also supporting the sport in New Zealand as well. So it's always good to get along to the shows if you're able to. And you learn a lot too. You learn a lot about, okay, this year, what are the shows looking like they're running? Are they on time? Is everyone on schedule? What's the lighting like on the stage? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and everyone's everywhere, aren't they? So we have like amazing athletes all over the country. Then you can like, I want to watch them. I want to see what they look like down south or in Welly or whatever. And so you've been in the game a while, babe. So what can you teach all the newbies, or just like even people that have been competing but are maybe just going through the motions and stuff? Because surely you've learned some stuff in 5 years. So teach us some things about like do's and don'ts or things like that.
Yeah, I think the main thing is there isn't really solid information out there. There are guidelines, and as a beginner, I think you just kind of think, oh, it's subjective. Are they either going to like me or they're not? I'm going to be as lean as possible. Yeah, so I think one thing to think about is, again, really studying the bikini category. They're not just as lean as possible. There is, they want that bubbly fullness, which is mostly on your coach to try to get you there. But yeah, really studying what the judges are after, with regard to the posing, with regard to the conditioning, with regard to the overall look. So when I first started, my first bikini was it was a non-padded, just like a triangle one with no padding, and I don't have anything going on here, let alone when I'm prepped, is just breastplate. So that did not look good. And then I went to the molded cup one in my normal size, and again, it kind of just the proportions didn't match my physique. And then finally went to try, I think Katya told me to try this, and I got a double D size molded cup top, even though I'm an A when I'm prepped. So I got that, and then I cut open a pillow, took out all the stuffing, stuffed that inside the bikini, and it's not so much about the cleavage, it's about the shape that it's creating and about the proportions, balance top to bottom. And as soon as I put that bigger and structured bikini top on, my whole shape went so much more hourglass, so much more feminine than it was before. And yeah, that's honestly one of my biggest tips that I could give to competitors that are small chested. Get a large molded bikini top and stuff it until you can't stuff it anymore.
I love that. That's a good tip. That's a really good tip, because there's a lot of girls that don't have like breast augmentations, or like they don't know that in prep your boobs just literally disappear. There's nothing left. So we need to get them going. And that's a really good tip.
I'll show you if you. So there's a top there.
I love that.
It's literally just the whole thing is just pillow stuffing. So essentially it doesn't matter that there's nothing behind it, because it just creates that nice, beautiful hourglass shape.
Yeah, I love that. That's so nice. And that color is really, really nice too. Did you pick that, or did they just send that one to you?
I picked them because I have an obsession with trying out all the different crystal combinations. So this is a Swarovski Glam Fit one.
I love
it. I've only ever used Glam Fit. I've never wanted to try anything else. I've seen and touched and felt other ones. And yeah.
What was your favorite bikini that you've worn? Do you have a favorite color or favorite style that you've ever worn?
I think the white one I wore at White Cat was my favorite color.
I love that.
And this one here just happens to be we nailed the cut, the top size and the bottom cut. So that one, it's got the slightly smaller pro cut. Sort of quite a small structure, so the other one was just a little bit too big. So yeah, that's one of my favorite ones so far.
I love it. It's so good, babe. And speaking of the bottoms, because that's changed over the years, hey, since you first started competing, the bottoms were like, the regulation in New Zealand was really a lot more like a brief, like it was a lot bigger, right? And now we can do a lot smaller. Are you enjoying that change? Do you think it looks better? Do you like them? And what cut do you wear?
It looks so much better. Once when I started, I think they were a cheeky cut, I think, and they really cut the glutes in half. I think but you were supposed to cover 1/3 of the glutes needed to be covered before, and it just wasn't aesthetically pleasing to me. And this last year was the first time I'd ever competed where we were allowed to wear a pro cut, and I was so happy. Yeah.
It's a game changer. Everyone should get them. Do you think it suits everybody?
It wouldn't suit possibly newer competitors that haven't developed the glutes enough yet. So if you're really, really small in the glute area, potentially the bigger one, the slightly larger cut, or like a Brazilian cut maybe. But yeah, definitely, if you've got some glutes, the pro cut one is much nicer. And if you've got goals of competing or becoming pro, then you want to be using the one that you're going to be judged in as a pro.
What are you currently working on? I know you said you're building. Are you building anything in particular on your body or on your physique, or are you just kind of building all over? What are you up to with your physique at the moment?
Yusuf has a technical answer that I can't remember for that. But I know I definitely need some size in the glutes. I definitely need, but it's more like smaller additions to have a nicer, more round, more hourglass shape, I guess. So I definitely need to add some more size in my back, or some more width in my back, a little tiny bit more thickness in the middle. Definitely need more glutes. The upper glute is lacking a little bit, and I think in a quad potentially.
Nice,
But
nice.
to be honest, at the moment, I just go do what I'm told.
Just follow the plan, just get it done. I love it. That makes it so much easier too. It's just there and you just do it. Makes it so much easier to do. Do you prefer like a lower body day or like an upper body day? What's your favorite thing to train?
Delts are my favorite thing to train. They always have been. I just love a shoulder day. But I have like combinations at the moment. So I have like shoulders, back, and biceps on the one training day. So at least I get to do a little bit of this and that. But yeah, I love training delts. I hate training glutes, to be completely honest. Which is probably why they're lacking. So you're just gonna focus on the thing that maybe you don't like so much.
Yeah. Why do you hate training glutes? Is it just like taxing, just energy?
I just find a lot of the movements quite difficult for me with my spine. So I have scoliosis and celiac, so it's always historically been quite very difficult to execute full range of motion, and cause a lot of like lower back pain. But since I started with Yusuf, he spots little things here and there which he'll make one slight change to my form, and I'm like, okay, I'm doing it. There's no pain. I'm doing it. So yeah, historically, that's why I've not enjoyed training glutes. Now it's just pretty much that they need a lot of work, and it's really, really hard.
It's just the energy. It takes a lot. But it's good, babe. You're doing awesome. I can't wait to see your glutes next year after a whole year of growing. It's going to be good.
Me too.
Yeah. And what about your food? What about nutrition? Like you've been doing this a while now. So this off season, it's like you know what to do and how to like obviously stick to nutrition better than some people might through an off season. What is your nutrition like now? Is it kind of strict, or do you still get a bit of flexibility, or are you like all in to just get it done?
At the moment, while I've been work focused, it's I have my diet plan, but I'm pretty honest about eating extra things or other things here and there when I want to. But I just realized recently actually that I just instinctively buy and eat mostly the same all year round. And then, if I want to have a bunch of snacks one night or go out for dinner, that's totally fine. And I think we're just about to go into the part where I need to stick to my meal plan 100%. So I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to having that structure back and routine back. And yeah, I'm really like all or nothing, So
100%. It's how it's done. Because it's like a lot of people, like you said, they fall off in the off season, or as soon as they get off the stage, that's it. Like, oh, I'm done, and then the reverse diet turns into crap and things like that. Do you have any advice for people going into the off season and stuff like that after a show? Do you recommend sticking to the reverse diet or being stricter through the off season? What do you reckon?
I would be a little hypocritical if I said, yes, everybody stick to your reverse diet. Obviously, we should stick to our reverse diets. They're there for a reason. But I think some people get the reverse diet wrong, where they're starting off in that deficit that they were in before, where you should really be starting off back at maintenance. So starting from there. Instead of, working your way back up, essentially you're still in deficit. No, you want to get your body right back to healthy, right back to maintenance as soon as possible, in my opinion. And, have treats, have your celebration, and have a little bit of balance if that's in your plan. If your plan is to go pro, no, you stick to everything 100%.
Yeah, you just go all in, because someone else will be going all in unless you do it. So gotta be done. Who's your favorite bikini athlete, like Olympian or anything? Who's your favorite that you like to watch?
There's a few. I really have always been a fan of Isa. I personally love a really exaggerated taper and hourglass shape. I know that's not necessarily what we're after at the moment, but I can't stop looking at it. I'm a big fan. And her posing's beautiful as well. Jazzy, I love her posing. Again, she's another one with that eccentric taper. And then Laurelie and Amy Delgado. She's my newest favorite, and potentially top pick for next Miss Olympia.
She's been creeping up, hasn't she? She's like on her way, so it's like it's only a matter of time until she takes it.
Yeah,
I love it. And Issa's coming back too, so hopefully she gets another O win where everyone's hoping that she can come back and get it again.
it's always my hope.
Yeah, always. Issa's actually competing this weekend as well with our Kiwi wellness girls with Ray and Jazz at the Tampa Pro. Issa's going to be there.
Yeah.
How cool, right? They might meet all each other. That'd be so cool. Get some pics. Oh, it'd be so good.
I'm really excited to watch that one and see them all go against each other too.
Good. It's going to be so much fun. So by the time this comes out on Sunday, that show would have wrapped up and we'll see what's happening. But big fingers crossed for the girls. And then I'll invite. We want someone else to be going off with Kate and Rip in New Zealand, but it can be done. I'm sure it can. It'll be fun.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, they all look so good. And so we're really, really proud of them. It's such a good representative for the country. They're looking sharp. They're looking sharp. Do you have a bikini color that you want to do that you haven't done yet, that you're like, oh, I just like to do something rogue, for a change?
I do want to do a black. So I want to do a black, and the purple one I got last time, I wanted a slightly deeper, darker color. Just because I find that the darker colors and the deeper shades pop a lot more on stage, and if you get a lighter color, so let's say if you're getting like a baby pink or like a light like aqua color, they tend to wash out a lot under the stage lights. So definitely deep tones. I would love to try a black, or maybe even like a midnight black blue.
Yep, like blue, something like that. No, but that would be really cool. And it's like, it would, like with your hair and stuff, it'll just look really good. So who knows? We might see that a lot on you one day. Who knows? And a glam fit, of course. It's got to be. Let's talk about Fitness Portal, because I don't know if people have, like, if you haven't been to Fitness Portal and you're listening and you're in Auckland or you're coming to Auckland, you should go and check that gym out. It's fucking sick. It's probably one of the best gyms I've seen in Auckland for a little while, because of the equipment. It's massive. It's got a posing room. It's just sick. It's a really cool gym. So just like to hype up your gym for a little bit. Like, what is it like working there? Is it cool? Is it fun? Tell us all about it.
I mean, it's a really special place. I actually haven't seen anything quite like it or experienced anything quite like it when it comes to gyms. It's got its own little community going on. Everybody there, from the members to the public that come into our cafe, to the trainers, to the reception staff, to management, everyone is just so supportive and here for each other. You find people that we're just standing around chatting the whole time. There's always people around. They're always, having more of a social vibe. And obviously the equipment, I was really excited when I first heard that Fitness Portal, because they've got two in Wellington. And I was really excited to hear that they were opening one in Auckland. And, luckily enough, I ended up getting to work for them as the club manager. So starting that from the building as it was, which had been shut down for like 2 years, painting walls and putting the equipment together and, building our dream team and all of that stuff. And everything's kind of come together now. And yeah, I guess it's a really special place. And we have some of the only pieces of equipment that you'll find in Auckland, and some of them I think only ones in New Zealand potentially. We've got the belt squat, the pendulum squat, the unilateral leg press, the single leg extensions, vertical leg press, what else we got? Linear hack squat, and then all the glute stuff. We've got all the glute machines.
You've got to go there for a leg day, girls, because it's fucking sick. You ruin yourself. And you've got the standing lateral raise. They're rare. Yeah. It's weird, like what?
They are humbling and brutal and in my training program, and I cry every single time I do that.
But you love delts.
I mean, it's a thing, especially if you're trap dominant. You can lean up against the pad at the back to force those down and really isolate. So yeah, that's a good one. And then obviously we have the recovery area with the swimming pool, the spa, the ice bath, the steam and the saunas. And near the posing room, which I'm just about to start taking some posing classes through. So that's really exciting. And I've never had a actual posing room in a gym before. We've always been told to go away and put our heels away, and it's nice to have a spot where you can do that with nice lighting, and then it's got the mirror above on the roof as well, so you can see what the back and the front is doing.
I love that. It's so cool. It's like our own little Dragon's Lair gym sort of thing, like we'll take it. We'll take it what we can get. So if you guys want to go check it out, honestly, go check it out. Or if you're up in Auckland competing or at nationals or whatever, go into Fitness Portal, say hi to Jamie if she's there. It'll be worth the little trip. What does a day look like for you, babe? What do you do? Like, are you in the gym coaching sometimes, like training sometimes? What does a day look like for you? What do you do?
So mostly I have just been doing the manager's role. I have had a couple of clients, but time-wise, I don't want to push it too far. I'm one of those coaches that puts in probably way too much time into every single part of, even if it's just a PT session, it'll be I'll be the therapist. I will make sure, what are you eating? What are you doing? What are you doing before training? What are you doing after training? Be available all the time. So I put a lot of time into it. So I just made sure I didn't take on too much. I've actually had one of my clients in the challenge that we recently did as well. So a lot of my time and attention went to him outside of my usual role. And yeah, he actually ended up winning, and I think he lost 7-point-something kilos of fat mass and put on 3.1 kilos of muscle mass during the 8 weeks. And yeah, absolutely nailed it. And that's what I'm here for. That's the sort of stuff I'm here for. So I make sure I don't take on too many clients so that I can give them all the attention that I want to and need to.
Love that. That's so good, babe. And do you guys do 8-week challenges like often? Like how often do you guys do those?
Yeah, so we had one at the beginning of the year. This was our second one, and then we will have another one August or September or October, I think.
Nice.
So we'll be announcing that, and yeah, I actually we have an app for the challenge. I actually wrote all the content that goes in the app, so that's all me talking to everyone, and it's real. I try to make it really educational, so developing healthy habits, changing lifestyles, actually learning about how to fuel your body properly, different training techniques, lifestyle, habits, goal setting, mindset, all of that kind of stuff is all involved in it as well, so that once you've finished the challenge, the hope is that you set up to actually continue that on.
Nice. That's so cool. That's awesome. So maybe if anyone's interested, obviously just keep an eye on the Instagram. Usually guys are pretty updated on your gram, eh? It's always running hot. So check out there for if you want an 8-week challenge to get into summer. That's probably what most of us need. So definitely something to think about.
Yeah, have a promotion on at the moment too. So if you sign up this month, you get the first 4 weeks free. So if you're thinking about coming to sign up with us, do it this month.
Yeah, that's good. Everyone wants 3 weeks, and 4 weeks is like, that's crazy. So it's a good time to do it. It's a good time to get in there. What do you do outside of the gym when you're not like training, working, competing, all of that? Like, what else do you do for fun or like just to relax?
To be completely honest, I'm a bit of a introverted person. So outside of, I mean, it's really, really busy. Like your day's taken up with, my day's taken up with work and training. And to be fair, work and training are both things that I really, really enjoy, thankfully. So it doesn't really feel like things that I have to do day to day. I literally get up and go and do what I love, which is just a blessing. So
I love
yeah,
that.
I mean, I have these two big, huge dogs here that take up the rest of my time, and it's
And they need to be fit too, or like get walked and stuff like that, don't they? So that's just extra, extra.
yeah,
Nice, babe. While we were talking about Glamfit, let's talk about sponsorships because this is something we wanted to chat about. We don't actually talk about this much on the pod, so this is a good topic. But do you think, like, first of all, how do you think, how do you get a sponsorship? Because people are probably out there like, I'd love to be sponsored by a supplement company or Glamfit or whatever. And do you think it's important for athletes to have sponsorships as well, even amateurs, everyone?
um, well, obviously, competing is a very expensive sport, and that's just on a national level. Let alone if you can imagine competing internationally, how much that's really going to cost you. Um, so I think from that aspect, if you need assistance with paying for everything in terms of competing, then yeah, it's really, really helpful to have sponsorships. If social media and promotions are your thing, if not, there's other avenues that you could go down. But yeah, I actually do it from a really, really low level. I post real stuff that I care about, and obviously bodybuilding is a big part of my life. And just try to be myself, try to be educational, and take people through my experience and things that I learn along the way. And then I actually just ask people if they will sponsor me. And this is what I tell everyone. I was like, just ask, you never know. You want to come at them with a pitch that tells them quickly who you are, what you do, what you can do for them, and what you would like them to do for you. And so far, I have, I think I've had one no ever. And I've had sponsors like Swole Foods, supplement retailers, supplement brands, clothing brands. And I've got obviously Fit Cover, Glam Fit Bikinis, the Squeeze Me Skinny waist trainers, the Firm Abs cream, the like fat burning tightening cream, which are actually quite good. All of my coaching was sponsored up until 2021.
Wow.
Fully sponsored for coaching. Yeah, it's there really is no limit to what you can achieve when you just kind of believe in yourself and go out there and ask and really think about. And you have to put in the work as well. So I hear a lot of people going, "Oh man, I wish people would send me free stuff." I was like, "Well, did you do anything to get any free stuff?"
Kind
So yeah, it's definitely a respect thing for your sponsors as well. Like they're going out of their way for you, so you want to make sure you communicate well with them. Hey, what do you actually want to get out of this? What can I do for you? Do you want do you want to see me at events? Do you want help with this stuff? Do you want a social media promotion? And what kind of content they're looking for well in advance of doing anything, so you know that you can do a good job for them and create a really good relationship.
Yeah, I love that, babe. That's so important because a lot of people are asking for free stuff or because that's just social media, you can kind of get away with it sometimes, but to be authentic is just like, that's the biggest difference. And all of the stuff you promote, you use, right? Like I've seen you use it. I'm like, she's promoting, but she's actually every day wearing her squeeze me or using the sups or whatever, like you're pretty authentic with it. And that goes a long way, doesn't it? It's like the biggest.
Yeah, like I won't promote anything that I don't use, and I don't, believe in. And even when people approach me for promotions and things like that, I'll look at the product, and if it's something that I feel I need to try before promoting it, then I won't agree to anything. So yeah, definitely important if you're going to do that stuff. I think you should always be authentic and give it a go. Give it your honest feedback, and make sure you don't commit to saying something's really good if you haven't actually used it yet.
Yeah. Because you can get caught out for that pretty quick. Like, I tried it and it was shit. Like, so got to be authentic. You'll always get caught out. I love that, babe. What do you love most about competing, and what do you think is the most difficult thing about competing, or like your best and your worst kind of thing? Like, what are your favorite and your worst?
What I love most about competing is the what it brings to how I live the rest of my life. So I love that there's always a goal in sight. There's always a road to progression. There's always something that you want to achieve, and a pathway to have you stick to it. And and yeah, so the structure and the routine that comes with it as well. So I just find that me personally, I do a lot better in all other aspects if everything is planned.
Yeah.
Call me CD, but I like everything to be planned and structured, and I like to know that I know what direction I'm going in, and how I'm going to get there, or how I plan to get there. Obviously, I love training and I love being in the gym. That's a given. So yeah, the hardest thing about competing, honestly, would be learning all the things that I wish I knew when I started, and trying different things, and finding the right coaching, and choosing the right competitions, and literally just figuring out how to do it. If I knew now what I knew back then, it would have been a very different road, I think. So yeah, just learning.
Yeah, nice, babe. I like that. It just takes time, doesn't it? And it's something that people aren't really prepared with at the start. They think they might just do a comp, we'll see what happens, but it's a long game, isn't it? Over a short game, as you know.
Most of us, yeah.
Yeah, you never know. Some people get in there and get their freaking pro card first pop, but most of us have to keep grinding away. Do you struggle with, like, a lot of the girls do, and I think a lot of the first timers do more than maybe the seasoned gals, but do you struggle with comparison to other girls, and do you like tune out from like what's happening in the competition world just to stay in your lane, or does it not really bother you at all? Do you kind of get used to it?
It definitely gets easier over time. But like you said, last year I didn't tell anybody that I was competing, and that's essentially how I prep. But just in life in general, I like, you stay in your lane, you focus on what you're doing. Looking at what somebody else is doing isn't gonna ever do any good. And somebody can look amazing on social media or on a photo with the correct lighting, the correct angle, and all of that stuff, or without the stress of peak week and show day, and or they'll post a front shot when the behind shot is not good, something like that. So there's really no point in looking at social media, because you just don't know how they're going to look on the day. You don't know how you're going to look on the day, all factors considered. So yeah, the comparison really, no. But I can understand how it is hard, but honestly, my best advice is just stay in your lane, clap for everybody else, and focus on what you have to do.
Nice. I love that so much, because I've got athletes competing and just people in the community, and they're just like, oh, did you see blah blah looking like this and on her photo? And I'm like, you don't actually know what she looks like. You never know, because they turn up on the day and they can look like miles different. And everyone's posting their highlights, everyone's posting their best angles when their waist is snatched, and or they've just not eaten, they've fasted, or whatever it might be, or they've carved up. So if you're listening to this, don't take everything on Instagram for what it is. Everyone's always way more different in person, which is just the way it is. It's Instagram, it's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing is you look a lot different on stage than you do
Yeah.
off stage.
Yeah.
You're never going to know what anybody's going to look like.
Even from
And
backstage to stage.
sorry?
Yeah. even from like backstage to getting on stage, you know how like you see the girls backstage, you're like, oh my God, you're gonna win, and then you get up there and it's like, oh my God, what? It's not the same.
And then the judges see things that we don't see, like I was talking about before with the conditioning, with the skin tightening and stuff like that. The judges are looking for very specific things, not necessarily who's the prettiest at most aesthetic to me. So yeah, I often find that the winners of certain shows are a surprise to most people, and especially the audience, because a lot of them don't know what they're looking for either. So
yeah, I love that. Leave it up to the judges. Like make the hard decisions. They can make the hard decisions. We can just compete and get on with it because it's like easier that way. So I have to ask, when are we going to see you on the stage again? If you know, are you thinking about next year is going to be like a pretty set thing, or are you just going to see how it goes?
The plan is next year. Yeah. Plan is to go hard from now all the way through until getting on stage.
Yes, I love it. Nice, babe. And you'll do a couple of shows probably or something like that. Most of the time you do a couple, hey?
Just the qualifier and nationals.
Nice.
As possible. The other option, of course, is most muscles to qualify for next year. That's always on the table as well. So yeah, we'll just see how we go.
Who knows, guys? And you won't know because she won't post about it, but we'll see her on the stage. It's like a little surprise when you come back. I'm like, fuck, she's back. And watch out because she's dangerous and she's in Class C. So does any Class C girls just watch out when Jamie gets back on the stage because she's coming in hot. So thanks for your time. It's been so good to chat. Have I missed anything? Is there anything else you want to share or talk about or anything like that, babe?
There probably was. Actually, I just wanted to mention, if you guys keep an eye on my Instagram, I will be announcing soon that I'm going to be taking on new clients for training and nutrition, so online and in person, and also posing classes in our posing room at the fitness pool and online as well. So keep an eye on the next couple of weeks, and be in touch.
I'm so excited for you doing that. But have you been doing posing coaching, or is this something new for you? Because I'm so stoked because your posing is amazing. So is this something new?
This is something new officially. I am I'm the posing competing mum that helps everybody out, and just because I enjoy it. So I just wanted to make sure that I get the results and that everybody wants and the feedback that I needed. Background in teaching helps as well. But yeah, so unofficially I've been doing it for a long time. But yes, we finally put the big girl pants on and for real now.
Yeah, I'm so excited for you, babe. That's so cool. And just anyone that wants to get in touch, would they just go through maybe Instagram once you've announced it? Obviously not yet, but maybe when you've popped it out, will they just get in touch through social media? Is it probably the easiest way?
Yeah, for now. That's where I'll be announcing everything as well. And then should there be another platform, which there may be a little collaboration coming up soon. So yeah, just keep an eye out. I'll announce everything here.
Nice, babe. I love that. And with your sponsors, because you've got a few sponsors, they're in your Instagram bio mostly, aren't they? And is it just like Jamie most of the time? Is it mostly your code? Is anyone out you want to shout out in specific?
Yep, the code's either Jamie or Jamie with something on the end. Yeah. Squeeze me skinny, actually, and just on the waist trainer thing with consistent use, 100%. If you're prepping, if you want to go on stage, waist trainers work if they go under the ribs and above the hip bones. Doing a squash your bones, there's no point. Yeah, the squeeze me skinny short trainers, they definitely work. And yeah, discount code Jamie, Blomfield bikinis. In my opinion, the only way to go. And they're just always perfect. So again, discount code Jamie, or we actually at the moment still have a discount code Fitness Portal, which will give 15% off, I think, for Glam Fit. And then there's a bunch of other codes on there as well if you want to save some money.
Yeah, definitely do it, guys, especially if you can save money on prep. It's worth the effort. And I'll put your Instagram link and all that stuff in the bio, in the description down below. So if anyone wants to find you, they can just click down there and just check you out. And make sure you follow her so you can see what's going on, all these announcements. I'm so excited and see how your off season goes. If we get any little tiny tidbits, I'll be looking for it. But it was so good to chat, babe. Thank you so much. It's been so good.
Yeah, no, thank you. Honestly, it was really really stoked that you reached out, and it's nice to kind of get back into the bodybuilding community, and I like to share information that I've learned over the years, because I know how helpful it would have been. So yeah, thank you so much for having me on.
It's okay, babe. Thank you. We always appreciate your expertise. You've been doing this a bit. And I always ask my guests, especially if they're going to compete again, do you mind if I reach out to you again and we get you on maybe around your next season, whenever that may be?
Absolutely, yeah.
Awesome, babe. All right. Well, thank you so much. And thank you everyone for listening. Don't forget to go follow Jamie, and the link is down below. And don't forget to follow us and subscribe and all of that stuff as well. And we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks, everyone. Bye. Bye, Jamie.
Bye.